Alright, what's going on everybody? It's Matt Vaughn with Fight Media coming at you guys with another video. You guys already know what time it is. It's time to bring on that boxing. Today we're going to be talking about Tank. Tremendous performance coming off the win against Ryan Garcia. It was knockout in the 8th round. You know, hit Ryan with a body shot. Wasn't able to get up. It was obvious. Ryan did not want to continue. He didn't want to fight. A lot of people said he quit. I don't think he quit. I think it was just, you know, matters only could have gotten worse for Ryan. And he fought like a champion, came out like a champion, talked like a champion. Wasn't the outcome he wanted, but hopefully we see him in the ring again soon. But as far as Tank, let's talk about Tank and whether or not he's the face of boxing. Because a lot of people, everyone's going on Twitter talking about, you know, Tank's not the future of boxing yet, blah, blah, blah. It's still Canelo. That's a valid argument, but I personally think Tank is evolving into the face of boxing. I think he's basically there. For me, he is the face of boxing. I mean, who's really, as much as we like Canelo, there's not many fights that we want to see him in other than the Bivol fight. And, you know, obviously David and maybe a David Morrell fight. But if he's not going to fight David Benavidez or a Charlo, brother, like, do we really want to see any other fight for Tank? There's so many fighters, especially, you know, even just besides Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney, there are other names out there that Tank could fight, and it would be, you know, just as satisfying and just as exciting to watch, in my opinion. I think that Ryan was a step in the right direction. After you fight a guy like Ryan, I don't know if you can really you know, decrease in your level of opposition. I mean, you could fight Isaac Cruz again, but I don't think it makes too much sense. But, you know, if you want to, because people always talk about that fight, in terms of guys that gave Tank a run for his money, they always bring up Isaac Cruz. But I think he beats Cruz, you know, easily in another fight. He didn't use his left hand for half of the first fight, so that's just my opinion. Not saying that Isaac Cruz doesn't have a chance. Everybody has a chance in this sport, but I definitely think Tank wins that win. But let's get into more about, you know, Canelo. I think Canelo has a valid argument. He's done a lot in the sport. He's accomplished a lot. But let's also take a look at, you know, the opponents he's faced. He's faced a lot of, you know, Caleb Plant is probably the biggest name on his resume aside from, you know, Floyd. You know, you have Gennady Golovkin, obviously, but we know those fights were wars, and the third one wasn't really very telling because we know that Triple G wasn't. He's basically on his way out. He's definitely not. He's not the same devastating puncher, and, you know, the face, not the face of boxing, but he was like one of the most feared guys in the sport. You know, close to a decade ago. It's been a while. So, in terms of Canelo being the face of boxing, I think it's a valid argument. Anyone who says I think Canelo's the face of boxing, not Tank, I can respect that, but I personally disagree. I think Tank's. Who's really talking about Canelo like that anymore? I think everybody's talking about Tank. Even the casual fans want to watch Tank fight. So I think that's testament to you know, how much Tank has evolved into the face of boxing. You know, despite Canelo having a country behind him, and that's amazing. And he has a large fan base in the U.S. as well. You know, I still think Tank's that guy where everybody knows about him. It's because of the performances he's putting on. He's getting guys out of there. He's stopping guys in, you know, tremendous fashion. So people are paying tickets. He's selling out arenas. You know, at the end of the day, this is the entertainment business. It's not a game. You go in there and you fight for your life, basically. But Tank's beating very impressive guys and doing it in fashion too, and he's doing it in style, and he's entertaining. Nobody really cares about who he's fighting. You know, people don't even know who he's fighting, and they pull up to his fights and buy the pay-per-view because he's that much of an attraction. He's like a star that, you know, no one's ever seen before. You know, Ryan has had that you know, that star factor as well, but, you know, he didn't have the performance to back it up. And, you know, Tank, it's the opposite. He has the you know, the ability to sell a fight. He has that star power, and he backs it up with his performance. So, you know, Tank's that guy, I think. In my opinion, my personal opinion, Tank's the face of boxing, and it's not even up for debate right now. Are there people that are, you know, technically, you know, more sound than Tank? Sure, many guys. Are there guys that, you know, could end up beating Tank if they, you know, the stylistic matchup is in their favor? Absolutely. I could name multiple guys. I think Shakur has a decent chance at, you know, beating Tank. Devin has a decent chance of beating Tank. And I think even you throw Teofimo Lopez on a good day and the right mindset, I think he could beat Tank. I don't think he beats him, but you know, the guys that have a chance, you know, the ones that have that IQ and have the experience and have the ability to counterpunch and, you know, keep their distance, I think those are the guys that are gonna, you know, give Tank a lot of trouble. But are they putting on performances, you know, that the fans want to see? That's the key. That's the key thing, and you know, that's the thing that Tank's doing that's separating him from a Shakur and, you know, separating him from Devin. Do I think he beats those guys? It's going to be a tough night in the office for Tank, you know, either of those guys. But as of now, you know, everybody knows Tank's name. You ask, you know, you know, you ask a stranger on the street, you ask them who Tank is, they're going to know. They don't know a Shakur or Devin. And is that the way it's supposed to be? No, but they know Tank. That's just testament to how popular Tank's gotten, and you know, people want to see knockouts. That's just the facts. I personally like watching, you know, boxing as well as the knockouts. I don't mind watching a decision. I don't mind watching a 12-round clinic where, you know, Shakur or Devin shuts a guy out. You know, I like those fights too. But the thing is that you're gonna get the casual fans, and you're gonna get the whole sport of boxing around you if you can, you know, put on those knockouts, those highlight reel TKOs, stoppage wins, those one-punch quitters. Those are the types of things that, you know, the fans want to see, and those are the people that are going to turn you into the face of boxing. That's the thing. You can't only have that star appeal. You have to have that, you know, that X factor that allows you to perform on the highest level and have tremendous performances like knockout wins. If Devin and Shakur could knock out guys the way that Tank, you know, does, they would. But it's hard when you don't have that same power, but they have the brains. That's just as important when it comes to an actual match. So that's why Tank, you know, matched up with Shakur or Devin. Those are all tough fights for Tank. And do I think they're all winnable? Absolutely. But those are the fights where we're gonna really see if Tank's that guy. If he wins those fights, then there's no doubt that he's the face of boxing. I don't think anybody could really argue that. But he has to beat Tank. Tank has to beat. Yeah. I'm trying to think of. Is there anybody else? No, I don't think so. Tank has to beat Devin. Tank has to beat Shakur to be considered the true face of boxing, to be that guy. He's already the guy in terms of, you know, if you want to look at it from a perspective of pay-per-view sales, selling out arenas, and just being that star, he has that X factor. There's no doubt about that. In terms of being that guy within the minds of people within the sport of boxing, he has to beat Shakur, he has to beat Devin. And anyway, it doesn't even have to be a knockout. If he can beat those guys in a boxing match, just as good. You know, he's that guy, but he has to do that stuff first. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, coming out of you know, a big win against Ryan Garcia, we'll see what Tank does next. I'll get another video out for you guys talking about what should be next for Tank. But as always, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace. That's going to do it for another Naz Fight Media video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been your boy, Matt Nabong, with another video. Hope you guys enjoyed it all. Thank you guys for the constant support. Salute to y'all always. It's been your boy.